What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. Good girls falling for street dudes has been a thing forever. When a young lady becomes infatuated with someone living a different kind of lifestyle than she is used to, she might become fascinated with the excitement and new world she is being exposed to. But that could sometimes come with a price, because most dudes living that lifestyle know an easy target or green person when they see one, and it becomes a game of mental gymnastics at that point. They make you do everything they tell you to without no questions asked, to the point you lose yourself and become a pawn in another person's game. When a male or female has a personality of dominance, they feel everyone around them should fall in line. And if you have a mind of your own or challenge them in any kind of way, that superiority complex makes them feel crossed and threatened. That you are not bowing down like they are used to people doing. And things can go left if you don't pay attention to a so-called friend's actions. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we will be taking it to San Diego, California to discuss a case of a man's plot to backdoor his homie while using his girl as his partner in crime. Shyrehl Chavez and Shyrehl Wesley met when they were kids. When Shyrehl's family moved from Oregon to San Diego, Shyrehl was 2 years younger than the young man, but had an older brother named K, who Shyrehl would hang out with often. Both came from pretty good families, parents that provided and pushed them to succeed. But Shyrehl would become idolized by the people in his new community, especially the young ladies, as being a good hip-hop dancer, even having an agent, and breakdancing and videos for groups like the Black Eyed Peas. All the young kids looked at him as a celebrity. Shyrehl was not as popular, but also looked up to by family and friends, as a young lady being focused in life, getting good grades with dreams of becoming a dentist one day. As the friends started to get older, Shyrehl started to change for the worse, becoming more focused on the streets instead of dancing, to the point K, Shyrehl's brother, fell back off of him even though they were cool. They were taking different life paths. As time went on, Shyrehl became a rapper called Westside Rel, and the young man was still looked at as a local celebrity. But in 2014, at 17 years old, Shyrehl made a move that sent him to prison. Him and a few other young men decided to rob a gun store by tying up the owner and taking blitz and money. But they all were eventually caught, and Shyrehl was found guilty and given 2 years in prison. While he was gone, Shyrehl kept excelling in school, making honor roll, being a cheerleader, getting letters from colleges, and on her way in life to do great things. But the good girl still had a crush on Shyrehl. So when he started reaching out to her from prison, she was excited and told no one because of his reputation. Eventually, the young man was released. He pulled up to holler at his old homie, K, but really to secretly see his sister, Shyrehl. K, not rocking with Shyrehl no more at that point, didn't have too much rap or conversation, and his mother told him she didn't want that thug around her house, referring to Shyrehl. But the slick young rapper had got in Shyrehl's head right under the family's noses. She began to change, staying out late, smoking, drinking, not really focused on going to college, even though she had offers. Instead, her and Shyrehl would sneak off and do their own thing. Eventually, the young man started playing with the young lady's mind, telling her everything that wasn't going right for him was all her fault, and she wanted to do whatever to fix it and to keep her dude happy. Some say things even got physical, with Shyrehl putting hands on her. But since Shyrehl was seeing him in secret, she never told family. But Shyrehl had a lot going on, even a wife. After getting married in the joint to a young lady, but allegedly she got pregnant by another man before he came home. But it was never a divorce filed. Shyrehl also had a child and baby mother. And even though he did things to make his own bread, he had his own whip, he made Shyrehl foot the bill on everything. Gas money, grass, drinks, food, even driving him around all day while he was making plays in her car. Typical fashion when a person is being finessed. But the young lady was blinded by love. Most friends of Shyrehl fell back off of him because he wanted everyone to fall in line and bow down to him. But a few still looked up to the young man, including a 21-year-old man named D'Angelo Sharon, or D-Lo for short. D-Lo was stated to have a tough upbringing, raised around a mother that got high and pretty much left home around 16 and tried to stay house to house, finding his own way, hustling and working odd jobs to stay afloat. Even though he was a year older than Shyrehl, he looked up to the young man when the two met. Shyrehl by this time was a known rapper called Westside Rel. He had all the girls, a nice car, both parents at home, kept money. The two men even had matching tattoos, reading triple M's, with most saying the meaning meant money, music, motivation, but others say it meant murder, money, mafia. D-Lo even stayed with Shyrehl at his parents' house. The two young men would call each other brothers, but somewhere in the mix, Shyrehl became paranoid of D-Lo as he started hanging with other young men around town. Now in 2017, it's been a year since Shyrehl and Shyrehl had reconnected. Knowing he had her right where he wanted her at, the young man started to question her loyalty, showing her a blick one day and asking, "Would you ride with me no matter what?" In which she stated, "Of course." A few days later, Shyrehl showed Shyrehl a picture with him, D-Lo, and an older man, and he explained to her he thought D-Lo poisoned the other dude in the picture, their other homie, because he had passed away. He felt like D-Lo was coming for him next, but that was the bait, knowing how to manipulate Shyrehl to do whatever he wanted her to. On July 11th, 2017, the young couple was doing their everyday routine, riding and smoking, when Shyrehl told Shyrehl to clean out the trunk of her car. Then he grabbed a change of clothes and shoes, grabbed the blick, and wrapped it up, putting it in the front passenger seat of the whip. He told the young lady they was going to kick it that night with D-Lo. Because he was 21 and could buy the drinks. Like always, Shyrehl agreed to pick him up. Side note, D-Lo often appeared in Rel's videos, one called Blood in the Rain, even playing a victim in one of the videos laying in the street, pretending to be hit. As the couple pulled up on the 3700 block of Alabama Street in North Park to pick up D-Lo, the two best friends were laughing, joking, all seemed well. They decided to hit a liquor store. Shyrehl was driving her car as usual. As Shyrehl told her, he did not have any gas and he left his wallet and cell phone in his car. He asked her for her bank card to buy the drink, and the two young men entered the store. Soon, noticing all the cameras, Shyrehl left the store in a hurry, telling D-Lo to make the purchase. As D-Lo returned to the car, they started riding around. The two young men started sipping. It was after midnight now on July 12th, and D-Lo would eventually get a little tipsy, take off his sweatshirt, and fall asleep in the back seat of the car. When Shyrehl allegedly looked at Shyrehl and pointed, telling her to be quiet and drive in that direction. She did what she was told, heading far out away from San Diego, and headed towards Vista, California, in a remote area of Twin Oaks Valley Road. Shyrehl was told to stop the whip. This is where things get crazy. Shyrehl grabbed the blick, jumped out, opened the back seat of the car, and smacked D-Lo with the joint, waking him up. Dazed and confused, Shyrehl then grabbed D-Lo, pulling him out the car, aiming the blick while asking him why he had been sneak dissing and disrespecting him. D-Lo stated, "We brothers, and I love you, bro. I would never cross you. Please don't shoot." Shyrehl stated back, "I love you too, bro. Sorry." And shots went off. Scared, Shyrehl, who was outside the car, jumped back in and broke a nail, leaving it on the scene. The young couple then drove back to San Diego, with Shyrehl telling her, "Don't tell anyone anything. Take his clothes, shoes, and gun." And then the two pulled up about 6 a.m. to a neighborhood about 1 block from Shyrehl's house. They didn't realize a house in the area had a camera that caught the couple hugging and kissing before Shyrehl headed home and Shyrehl started walking towards his house. But 30 minutes before, at 5:30 a.m., a construction worker was driving to work in Vista when he noticed a man slumped over in the street with no shirt on. Thinking someone just passed out, the worker jumped out to notice the man had been shot. He quickly called police, who responded to the location on Twin Oaks Valley Road to find the man shot 3 times, unfortunately already gone on the scene. As they searched for evidence, 40 caliber shell casings were found. A fingernail was also found, and a wallet containing the ID of the victim, 21-year-old D'Angelo Sharon. Police thought the woman was involved after finding the fingernail, but didn't know exactly what had took place. A detective noticed a receipt from 12:30 a.m. that same day in D-Lo's wallet from the liquor store. They went to the location and asked for the surveillance video. The video showed D-Lo enter the store with a man with face tattoos and the young lady being the driver. After the purchase, the 3 young people drove off. Detectives was able to get the tag number off the vehicle. They ran it and saw it belonged to Shyrehl. Detectives headed to the young lady's house and allegedly caught her red-handed with cleaning supplies walking to the vehicle. They showed her a warrant to search the car. The young lady slumped down, knowing she was caught. They went straight to the trunk. A pair of shoes, socks, and sweatpants with blood on them were found. Detectives then entered the home and found the 40 caliber handgun and D-Lo's sweatshirt, as the young man's body was found with no shirt on. Detectives quickly realized the man with D-Lo in the store was wearing the same clothes they found in the trunk of her car. And as they put handcuffs on the young lady, they noticed she had a broken nail that matched the one at the crime scene. She was taken into custody. People in the neighborhood quickly told police it had to be Shyrehl because Shyrehl wouldn't hurt no one. Police went to Shyrehl's house, but the man wasn't home. They informed his parents D-Lo was hit. They were super hurt because they looked at him like a son. He even stayed with them from time to time. They stated Rel would never do that. He looked at Lo like a brother. But with evidence, detectives stayed on Shyrehl's trail. He was caught later that night walking up a street and taken into custody. Now the young couple were both at the precinct. They tried to communicate through the glass to get their story straight, but detectives peeped the move. They brought in Rel to be questioned first. The young man stated he knew D-Lo. That was his brother. He stated he didn't know Shyrehl at all and never heard of her. When presented with the footage from the store, detectives asked, "Was that you with D-Lo?" Rel stated no. But once they pointed out his tattoos and the outfit, his story soon changed. The young man pointed the finger at Shyrehl, stating they were chilling when D-Lo disrespected him. They had words and started fighting. Then the blick fell from D-Lo's pants. He stated Shyrehl grabbed it and shot. Mad about it, Rel stated he asked her, "Why you shoot my brother?" And then he helped her to try to cover it up. In the other room, Shyrehl was staying quiet until she realized the dude she was riding for tried to throw her under the bus. That's when she decided to tell the real story of Rel baiting Lo in because he felt like he was switching sides. They were both arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Prosecutors decided Shyrehl was a good girl that was manipulated and couldn't escape Rel's control, so they offered her a deal to testify on what happened that night for a lighter charge and sentence. She accepted and was sentenced to 6 years for voluntary manslaughter. On October 6, 2018, Shyrehl's trial started, and Shyrehl took the stand with her face blurred out due to state law. She explained she secretly started seeing Rel, and he quickly became controlling and wanted everyone to bow down, to be loyal, and a yes man, even D-Lo. She stated she was blinded by love. That was her first boyfriend, and she idolized him since they were kids. With her statement and all the evidence, Shyrehl was eventually found guilty of hitting his best friend and sentenced to 80 years to life in prison. Rest in peace to D'Angelo. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to the family. I'm going to leave the moral of the story on this one up to y'all. I know people get manipulated and used all the time. A lot of people felt like Shyrehl was old enough to know better and she got a slap on the wrist even though a person lost their life. But some say Shyrehl was way more advanced and a sociopath and used her for a plot on his best friend. Either way, messed up situation. So remember, we gotta succeed not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man. I'm gonna leave it up to y'all on this one. I ain't gonna talk y'all head off no more. Leave it in the comments. Definitely be respectful. Let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know this your boy Tony 2 times. This another episode of Hood Tales. It's all love, fam. I'm out.